بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم وبركاته. Good morning, and I hope that you're all doing well. It is my great honor to have you all here today, and I'm here to learn from you, dear teachers, and to learn from my speakers, of course. This is Shama Muhammad Al Yaqubi, an English language teacher, currently teaching Cycle 1 students in Al Bahra Governorate. And today I would like to learn more about feedback and classroom management in Cycle 1. And before we kick off, I'd like to share with you a couple of concerns that I had in mind. Um, and I think before even kicking off, it's better to share with you some kind of uh, the flow of the session, how it's going to go. An introduction for about 7 minutes. My speaker one, Miss Bedriya Dhili. She is very welcome to speak today about her own experience in this regard. And my speaker two, unfortunately, had personal circumstances, and therefore she's not going to present anything today. But I hope that she can make it an attempt to enrich the discussion today, and we'll end up with some Q&As with you, dear teachers. And the session is going to take not more than 30 minutes to 35 minutes. Now, please type number one in the chat box if you think that everything is clear, the voice and the picture. I'm waiting for you there in the chat box. Is the voice clear and the presentation is clear? There's my chat box. Please type one if the voice is clear and if you can also see my shared screen. Let me make sure that you can text messages. Yes, you can text me on the chat box, and I haven't seen any response. Can you hear me? Yeah, that's great. Thank you so much. One response. Great. Okie dokie. Let's go on. And before we go on, I think it is very important to share with you what I think about feedback. What is feedback is defined in the literature as the uh, the feedback is whatever kind of information given to learners, and here about language, to language learners about their own understanding or performance of a certain action that already has happened. In other words, it is a backward looking. It examines a past performance or a past demonstration of a certain understanding, and it determines the degree of success or failure of past performance. MashaAllah, still people are joining. Okay. Now, um, it is basically corrective or not. Here I found it in the literature as error correction. It gives the chance to the students to learn their mistakes and learn from them. And particularly for language learners, it aims to enhance their linguistic literacy and it develops their accuracy. But bear in mind, not all scholars and researchers are at the same page in regard of the effectiveness of feedback. Some of them believe that feedback is given too much talk and too much time and effort from teachers to students. But it is not a very important, it does not necessarily result in the development attained, the development aspired, the linguistic development, and as well as the accuracy. However, Ellis, Pitcher, Storch, and other researchers believe that it is a very important mean for uh, a very important mean of upgrading students' accuracy, that is written or oral, and it ensures the linguistic competence. Um, let's welcome our audience. Okay. And Alice also said it is a very good push for students accuracy as well as their motivation. And it is a very important thing to consider that its effectiveness does not necessarily result in immediate consequences, immediate improvement, but it might subsequently happens over time. I'd like to share with my audience this slide. These are the different questions I had in mind, and there I'm quitting my time. Now, please welcome Miss Badriya Dehli. She is my guest speaker. She's an English language teacher and a skill graduate. She is an expert in teaching Cycle 1 students uh, for 18 years. And she is a very, very well-known education content creator. And please welcome her. And the floor is yours, Miss Badriya.
No, can you see now? Can you see my screen?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay, that's great. So let's go. I'll go through some slides actually, and to be honest with you, I put every single information in these slides carefully. So first of all, I will talk about feedback and classroom management. And teacher Shamma, I would like also to remind all these teachers who are attending with me today that these two topics, they are linked together in some ways. And through my speech, I will tell the teachers how can they are related to each other to fill or to accomplish your aims in feedback, also in classroom management. First of all, I will define feedback, and then I will go to answer the question, why is feedback important? Then I will give effective feedback to young learners. How can it be effective? Then I will give some tips for giving feedback to young learners. And I think most of the audience are Cycle 1 teachers. Then I will give some examples of effective feedback. Then I will talk about classroom management. So let's go. Feedback is information that helps learners understand how they are doing and how they can improve. Feedback can be given in a variety of ways, including verbal, written, and visual. Again, can be done in three kinds of feedback. Verbal, and I'll give you some examples of verbal feedback that I give to my students in the classrooms. Written ones, and I think most of us, they have written feedback in their notebooks, in their class books, and also in their activity books. And then we have also visual feedback. Teachers, I think, using visual feedbacks to young learners is very, very effective way. By it, you can also ensure that you are giving a clear and attractive feedback to young learners. Okay, why feedback is important? Feedback is important because it identifies their strengths and weaknesses. Also, set goals for improvement by giving feedback to students. And when they are following your feedback, and they are going to be improved in different skills. And also, it develops strategies for improvement. And then they stay motivated. How to give effective feedback to young learners? First of all, be specific and constructive. Number two, be timely. Regularly, give your students the feedback and try to choose the correct time when to give the feedback. Number three, be positive and encouraging also. Be patient. Make it personal. Be clear enough. And then be respectful. Example of effective feedback. For example, as you know that kids in Cycle 1, they are having a lot of coloring activities. And when a student color an activity, some of them, the most important thing is to finish coloring that activity. So they come back to you, color this activity with one color and not that much precise. So you can say to them, I like the way that you use different colors in your painting, but you could try adding some more details to your characters, or you can add more colors. And this is a kind of feedback that can give the students the encourage, or also let me say the power to go back and color in a different way. Sometimes you can
ها
show.
نشتغل.
And also you can show their friends work. For example, if you have a student in your classroom that is crafted or have got a piece of nice coloring, you can put it up and show your students how did or how does he or she color that piece of work. So other students now, they know how to color these, for example, this activity or do this activity in a very nice or good way. Also, sometimes your student's answer is very short, or you are expecting your students to give better answers. So don't say to them, no, this is not the right answer. For example, my students in grade 1, when I teach them the vocabulary and when I hold up the flashcard, I drill them to not to give me only a word. They can give me sentences. For example, carrots. They don't only give me carrots. They can give me, I can see, for example, carrots. At this stage, give the feedback immediately to that student. Yes, excellent, for example, excellent, Ahmed, but can you add more to your sentence? And here I used some sign to my students that Miss Badriya is looking for a longer sentence. For example, I show them my fingers that, oh, you can make your sentence a little bit longer. Then the students at this stage, at the end of semester 2, they can give me different sentences to one object. They can give me, I can see 3, for example, orange carrots. They are 3 orange carrots. I have got 3 orange carrots. And actually, I'm very, very happy with the result at the end of the year, that most of my students can give me these different sentences to describe one object. What actually helps me to do so is the feedback. I'm using the feedback and also with the classroom management on the right time. And I'm using the specific feedback to specific student. For example, I know that student is an average student, so he cannot give me a long sentence. But what I did is, I go beside him and I pretended that, oh, I'm looking for another thing for this flashcard, for example, Ahmed, can you add something else? Next day, the same student who is Ahmed, he is ready and he is a little bit, he is very enthusiastic to give Miss Badriya or teacher Badriya a longer sentence. And here also, teachers, I would like to add something in your classroom that must be ready with you to accomplish the top benefit of giving feedback is the reinforcement. Reinforcement is very important. They know that teacher Badriya is going to reinforce a student who is giving her a longer sentence by using verbal reinforcement, by using, for example, giving him a sticker, or she can ask him to go to the headmistress to sign for him. So these are actually, these are some factors that can help teachers to set or to work with a very effective feedback. Also, teacher, I would like also to remind all of you, never use any negative feedback. Don't say to the students, oh, you don't know, or oh, Flan, your answer is wrong. Try just to encourage the student all of the time. Accept any answers. Any answer. For example, oh yes, Flan, you tried your best. Thank you so much, for example, Sarah. And I'm sure that you know better than this. And sometimes the students, teachers, they are not ready to answer. So sometimes you need to wait for that student. He needs time to give you a correct answer. So just go back to him later. For example, don't start receiving the sentences or what is it, for example, presenting the flashcards. Don't start with weak student or with a slow learner. Maybe the slow learner in the classroom is waiting to hear that student or to hear what is the required answer that the teacher is looking for. Okay, so it's better to start with an excellent student. For example, what is it? So the excellent student will say to me, for example, it is a lizard. So now they know that Miss Badriya is looking for a sentence with it is. So when she is going to hold the next flashcard, the average student or the slow learner, he is ready now to answer me with confidence. So also be careful and be aware of your students' readiness to answer. Don't also make the classroom an atmosphere of fear, an atmosphere of stress. Just make it a little bit an environment of of challenging them in a very comfortable way. Okay, let me here show you some tips of giving young feedback. Is my slide sharing clear to all of you?
Yes, it is clear, Miss Badriya.
Okay.
Yes, it's clear.
Okay, thank you. So first of all, here I'll give you some tips, okay, quickly. Make it personal. Address the learner by name and use language that they can understand. For example, thank you, Ahmed. You are great. And here's teachers, I would like also to share an experience with you. At the beginning of my teaching, okay, I am not that much experienced in how to give a feedback. When my kid went to the KG, I was amazed with the sentences written by the teacher. And I am a mother at that time, a mother and a teacher. And she was giving him a very nice sentence, a very calming sentences. Okay, she started her sentence with my dear Flan, Azizi, Ya Abqari. This is in Arabic, I mean in Arabic notebook, in his Arabic notebook. At that moment, I learned the power of feedback, written feedback. So I am very precise in choosing the feedback. Sometimes the feedback is a sticker. You said that, oh, I have found a very nice stickers with a very nice short phrases. But be careful, teachers. Some of the phrases, they are not suitable for your students. And sometimes they cannot understand what is written in that sticker. So be careful when you are choosing a sticker. Design your own sticker with your own written feedback. Make it personal. For example, excellent Flan, excellent Abdullah. Well done, Abdullah. Abdullah, your sentence is amazing, but can you add, for example, a tricky word for that sentence? This is the kind of feedback using their names. Give them trust to answer and also to give the answer with confidence. And also here in giving the feedback personally, I would also like to share an experience with you with my students, that my students in the classroom, they are giving also the feedback to the students. I mean the verbal feedback when their friend answer questions. At the beginning of the year, I told my young learners that we are going to use some cheering words to cheer your friend when he is answering a good answer. And I used some signs. For example, they are putting their fingers on their arm. Amazing, Ahmed. Well done, Abir. So his friends now is giving him the feedback with me. And at that time, actually, I am working on two aspects: classroom management and also group work. And his friend now is very happy that his friends also is cheering him or also giving him the feedback with teacher Badriya. Sometimes they say, Masha Allah. So, or well done, or amazing, wonderful. Number two, Be clear. Avoid using complex and technical terms that the learners may not understand. And do you know, teachers, that the mothers also, they don't understand sometimes what I have written to their students. And I have got an experience with that. One of my students, he wrote a very organized paragraph. And I wrote to him, well done, Flan, you did a great job. I am very proud of you. And the mother, when I arrived to the home, she captured me, what I have written. And she asked me, Teacher Badriya, what did you write to my student? We couldn't get you. At that time, I know that what I wrote, they don't understand what I have written to him. So try to be very careful. In giving feedback, for example, in written sentence, try not to use, for example, X with red marker, because don't mark your students with something that can disappoint them. Try to put, for example, a dot under the sentence or a word that is wrong, and you would like your student to correct that sentence. Number two, be respectful. Even if the learner's work is not perfect, be respectful of their efforts. Never disappoint your students. Never shout at their faces. Try all of the time to be the model of giving the feedback of how to deal with their work. Next time they are going to use your the same way of speaking with their friend, also with their mommies, with their other teachers. Number four, be encouraging. Focus on the learner's strengths and help them to see how they can improve. Okay, sharing experience. Okay, so here's the time to share my experience. And Teacher Shamma, I am actually very sad that all of my students now, they are in their homes. So these are the pictures that I kept with me. So I'm sharing some of my experience of giving feedback and classroom management at the same time. Keep them busy. And what I mean by keep them busy, here's the trick. I am purposely, when I give my students spelling, I need to give them the feedback immediately, because I need them to know where are exactly their mistakes. And the question here is, what are you going to do with other students when you are marking their work? The trick is keep them busy. Here that you can see, and I think that I mean the teachers that they are following me and using my activities, they can notice that most of the activities, they are coloring, tracing, writing, and most of them, they are in black and white. Purposely, I designed these activities. You can see the picture here. The table is they have no books on their tables. They have only the colors, and you can see it is one box of color. These are my colors. In the classroom, I keep six sets of colors for 6 groups. Each color is written 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have got the leaders. Every week, I locate leaders. Next week, we change the leaders. I have got helpers. Each week, I have got 2 helpers. Boys for week 1, the other week, they are 2 girls. And all of the students, they know who are the helpers they can help Teacher Badriya, who are the leaders also. The leaders are very important. The leaders help me a lot, teachers. And you can see that the students here in this picture, they are sharing the colors and they are coloring an activity. And they are going also to write the answer. Miss Badriya at that time, busy in giving the feedback of some tasks in the classroom. I need only 5 to 10 minutes to give them quiet. And these kinds of tasks, they can keep them quiet for 5 to 10 minutes. And they are actually focused or to the point of what we are studying at that time. Quickly, I go around checking or marking their spelling, or marking, for example, their written task, for example, in any activity, and they are busy doing something. Nobody can interrupt Teacher Badriya at that time. Another strategy, teacher, that I applied to keep them busy, to give their friends the feedback, I kept some short movies on my projector. So while they are watching that movie, for example, if we have got the unit of animals, I downloaded different movies related to animals. So they are watching the movie quietly, and teacher Bedriya is going around to check my students, for example, work, to check my students' homework. And giving feedback while the student is next to you is very important and very, very effective. I was asking a question by different teachers. Teacher Badriya, how do you have the time to write the sentence? Let me show you the next slide. I will come back to this. I'll come back to this. I'll come back to this. These sentences. I wrote these sentences in the classroom, and the kid is next to me. I wrote these sentences for 32 students. I need only 15 minutes to keep them quiet. It's very important to give him the feedback next to me. I can tell him, for example, if for example, if sound is not written in the correct lines. Okay, or dear, you can put your finger to keep spaces between the words in these sentences. It's very important to manage your time. And also here I put the keep them busy and the same slide. And you can see here the sticker. I designed the sticker myself. Amazing work. My students know what does amazing work because I encourage them verbally. Verbally, amazing. And here it is a written. It is a written feedback. Amazing work to my students. And why it is important, teachers, to give him the feedback immediately. This teacher can help you to come over all of the students' weaknesses in reading and writing as well. Because sometimes their mommies, they cannot or they don't know. Let me say this phrase, they don't know how to deal with their mistakes in English. It differs from Arabic. In English, sometimes it is a challenging also to mommies. So as a teacher, I need to keep the student beside me. We need together, me and the young learner, we need to come over the obstacles or the weaknesses together. And the right way is to give them the feedback in the classroom. Okay, so so let me go back, teachers. Here, always have alternative plan. Here we have cards. Here I give them cards. I keep these cards in a box. I have got 10 cards. In each card, there are two faces. One face, there are words, and the other face, a number. They are numbered from 1 to 10. They are different words in different cards. Here I'm marking, or I think I'm evaluating their reading sentences. I need to keep them quiet as well. I don't need to play a movie now because it will disturb the student that he is following me to read. So what did I do, teachers? I keep a box. In this box, there are cards. The students go and pick up a card, for example, 2. The student goes back to his seat, read the words, write them in his or in her notebook, put back the card immediately to the box, and go to take another card with another number. They didn't come back to me at that time because they know that teacher Badriya is busy doing something with my friend. And actually, teachers, I'm using portfolios. I like portfolios. Portfolios, teachers, they can play as a rescue plan for you as a teacher. My students in their portfolios, they keep word wheel, they keep, as I think if you can see my project, I don't know if I have it here. Also here, teacher, I'll come back to that project. Be ready for the early finishers. Sometimes the early finishers are the nagging students. Here, teachers, my students, they get used to have the activities put together, okay, in a sequence. And as you can see that there are some activities I give them at the beginning of the lesson, at the beginning of the lesson, and they know that they start doing activity 1. When they finish, go to activity 2, go to activity 3, go to activity 4, and that's it at the till the end of the lesson. Actually, I give them these kind of activities in sounds and spellings classes, because I need to write the sentence for each lesson at the end of the class. Okay, here also plan your lesson. It's very important, teachers, to plan every single minute in your class. Kids, young learners are very clever. They can feel when the teacher is lost. So don't let them to get this feeling about you that my teacher is lost. She is okay sitting for a few minutes and she trying to remember what she is going to do next. Do you know that these 2 minutes or 3 minutes of taking your breath is a chance for them to make chaos and to make also noise in the class, and sometimes to put them back or to give them their attention back sometimes is very difficult. Plan your lessons. Try to use visual cards, attractive cards. Keep everything next to you. Try to use technical things, attractive materials, alternative materials. Sometimes they are playing games, sometimes they are playing puzzles. Keep them ready with you at the beginning of the week, for the whole week, so you can save your time, save your thinking, and save also your health, if I can say. Okay, so we discuss this, we discuss this, we discuss this. Okay, here I would like to share with you my friend's strategy of giving simple and fast feedback. Here my friend, teacher Nasra Al-Abri, she was teaching grade 4 students. And this is a kind of simple and fast feedback for their written, for their writing tasks. Here she designed her own stamp. In the stamp, she is putting the points or the checklist that she would like to see her students to refer to. Capital letters, finger spaces, grammar, punctuation, neat handwriting, spelling. And she is putting 3 faces. And it is very important, teacher, that your students understand your feedback. Very, very important. You need to explain to them what are these signs, what are these signs mean. Teacher Nasra and her friends used this with their students, and also their mommies are very happy with this kind of feedback. It's very cute, as I can see, it's very cute, and also it can help the students to come over their difficulties in writing. Another strategy that I saw in their classes is using thermal printer. Thermal printer teachers, they can, let me say, design, plan your also feedback. Here she is having this student with super writer. Amazing for this student. All of this piece of paper, they are printed through thermal printer اللي هي الطابعة الحرارية اللي انتشرت مؤخرا teachers. Even the tasks, as you can see on this previous, on the top of the slide, she is designing an activity, play football, and the student is going to write the sentence. She stick this small piece of activity in their notebooks. Immediately with the same printer, she is going to give him or her the feedback. Some of you ask the question, teachers Badriya, I can keep this kind of piece of writing or piece of activity printed ahead in a normal printer. The idea is that the student is waiting for the printer to get their names or to get the feedback out of that They are very happy, very attractive, very attractive to this process of getting this kind of feedback throughout the thermal printer. Teacher Shema, as I am taking time more than I am allowed.
Honestly, not because the other speaker apologized. So the floor is yours. We have around 5 more minutes, dear.
Okay. Thank you so much, Teacher Shema. Classroom management teachers. Classroom management is creating a positive learning environment. Classroom management is very, very important. And honestly, through my website, through my accounts in Instagram, in WhatsApp, most of the teachers, they are suffering from this, uh, from this, uh, uh, from this point. It is classroom management. They keep asking, how can we manage these little learners? I told you, little learners, they are very clever. Set up your own rules. Do you know that my students, they are having the rules with me? We set our own, our classroom contract together. And they are happy that I am sharing with them, even if they are grade 1 students. They are happy that we are sharing a classroom contract. And be careful not to make Miss Badriya feeling sad. So they are actually, and I'm very happy actually, teachers, that they are 6 to 7 years old and they love the way that I am actually assess their behavior and how can I develop their also progress in the language. Be careful with your students. Don't ever use something that can make them hate the class, because if they hate the class, they can be the starting point of making some noise in the classroom and helping their friends also to make the noise. Okay, in classroom management, as we know that classroom management is the process of creating and maintaining an environment in which students can learn effectively. It involves establishing clear expectations for behavior. At the beginning, you need to be clear to your students. What do you expect from them? Okay, if they make a noise, what are the results behind that behavior? And when you say something, try to apply it, teachers. Don't give them, for example, some warnings without applying that warnings, without fulfilling that warnings. Providing also positive reinforcement for appropriate behavior and using appropriate consequences for inappropriate also behavior. And let me here share my experience with you. Locating groups, as I told you, is very, very important, teachers. In each class, I give each group a name regarding to the theme of the unit. For example, if the unit is about animals, group number 1, they are tiger. Group number 2, they are, for example, lizard. And they are collecting stars during my classroom. Never, all of my classes, I put these groups. And what is the reward? What is the expectation? The highest stars for the group is going to have a signature from teacher Badriya in their class book. In their class book, I keep a reward chart. The winner or the winning group is going to have a sign from Miss Badriya for all of the group members. So teacher Badri, how does this help you in classroom management? Let me tell you something. I set a rule with them, a contract. If group number 2 is answering me, for example, all of the groups must listen to them. So if group number 1 starts to make a noise, Miss Badriya, what are you going to do? I took one of their stars that they collect and I give it to group number 2. Because it is group number 2 the right now to answer teacher Badriya. So group number 1, you are not allowed now to make a noise. Nobody can now, speak or make a noise while they are answering me or while group number 2 is answering me. And actually they like this way. And they look at it as it is fair enough for them and also for their friends. Because when group number one is answering Ms. Badriya, for example, in many tasks, and Ms. Badriya is waiting to hear a clear answer, somebody in group number three is making a noise. So teacher Badriya is going sadly and took a star from group number three, and I give it to group number one. And they don't like that to happen. So what should they do? They should keep quiet till I hear the answer nicely and clearly from that group. Okay. Why is classroom is important? Allows the students to focus on learning. It's very, very important, teachers. Make your class, make the environment of learning suitable for some students. Some students, they cannot learn, while some students, they are making noise or they are shouting. So here you can reduce, by classroom management, you can reduce the time of learning. You can also reduce the time of repeating the information because everybody is listening to you at that time. Also reduces the disturbances and distractions, creates a positive learning environment, promotes student achievement. This is very, very important, teachers. Okay. Effective classroom strategies, establishing clear expectations, as I told you, providing positive reinforcement, using appropriate consensus. Okay, so teacher Shema, this is what I have. Thank you so much, teachers, for listening to me. And I know that I talked a lot. If you have any questions to ask me, I am very happy to answer the questions.
First of all, thank you so much, Ms. Badria, for your speech. I wish that you haven't stopped. I've honestly learned a lot, and subhanallah, going to a certain teaching area for a couple of years sometimes makes us forget what we were supposed to do or what we have been doing already. Thank you so much, dear Ms. Badria, for your very, very effective and very informative talk. Now the floor is for our audience. Please, if you would like to ask any question, raise your hand so that we can allow you to unmute your microphone, or you may share your question on the chat box. And I'll leave 5 minutes for the Q&A. Maybe if you have some comments, you are most welcome. And Ms. Badri, if you don't mind, if you have anything else, if you want to share on the screen, please do. If not, I would like to share my screen.
Okay. I'm wondering if I am not sharing here. Yes. Okay. Just maybe I forgot to share this. Okay. As you see here, a happy and sad face. Happy and sad face, this helps me a lot in classroom management. Sometimes I don't need to shout at my students that they are making a noise. Just I cover my face with sad face. Everybody now is silent. They said, oh, teacher Badriya is sad. And sometimes when I am happy with their answers or when I am happy with their effort in specific step in my classroom, I cover my face with happy face. They said, oh, teacher Badriya is happy. So I like using these visual materials. And I like also when the students, they are sharing with me the learning and sharing with me the how to use these materials. I like them also to speak most of the time. As I told you that in feedback or in cheering their friends, they are cheering their friends more than I do. Okay, and let me see if I am not sharing something else. Okay, and here, as you see that they are working together, putting the pieces together, and they know Ms. Badriya is setting a timer. Teacher, timers are very important in your classroom. Very, very important. And what I mean by timer is not tricking the students by doing specific task in specific time. No, timer makes them enjoy doing the task. And sometimes timer, they can help them to concentrate on the activity that they are doing. my students, I have got my own projector, my own Proxima. And do you know that they call the Proxima timer? Teacher Berria, where is your timer? Because they know that all of our lesson is planned or actually with the timer. So timers is very important, teachers. Try to use timers in your classes. And also, what did I do is when they finish, for example, here speaking, okay, as you see that I have got here flashcards, and here I put numbers under each flashcards. Try to make the activities something that attracts students. Here I need them to speak, and I need ask and answer questions. So what did I do, teachers? I put numbers. I start by myself, and I have got a microphone. And I think most of you have got your microphone in your classes. I start by asking students, what's number one? And I go around and I pick up one of the students. He said to me, it is hippo. I give him the mic. So now his turn to ask another friend in the classroom, what is number 3, for example? What is number 4? Using the microphone in the classroom, all of them, they are silent and they are waiting for their turn. So I can ask a student or 2 students to come at the front, Yalla Flan or Yalla Abdullah and Sarah, ask about picture number 2. But using the microphone and making them going around the classroom as they are interviewing their friend, this task makes them a little bit more quiet. I reduces also the noise, and also it is my chance to assess my student in speaking because everybody is listening. There is no noise at that time. Okay. I think, okay, let me see. Okay, so Teacher Shama, I think this is all what I have today. If they have got any questions, I'm very happy to listen, and I'm very happy to answer their questions.
Thank you so much, Ms. Badria, for such an enriching talk. Ms. Amira, you can open your microphone and the floor is yours.
All of your attendance, I'd like to express my gratitude for those organizers of this fruitful, let us say, paper. Thanks a lot. Special thanks actually goes to teacher Badriya Dehli for her effort, for showing us her comprehensive, let us say, experience in the field of education, mashallah. We haven't met you, teacher Badriya, to be honest, in reality, but we have seen your effort throughout different schools. Okay, so I have to say that thanks a lot for your hard work, dear. Inshallah, you will be rewarded one day by Allah because you are spreading your experience and your knowledge all over, let us say, schools in Oman. Thanks a lot for this fruitful paper that you have presented about feedback, about classroom management. I really like the idea of having constructive, let us say, feedback because it is very important in order to help our students to be supported, to be motivated, in order to keep up with their progress and with their effort. And as you have mentioned, dear, that it is supposed to be specific, it is supposed to be direct, it is supposed to be immediate as well. And it is very necessary to be positive, in order not to make our students, to say, disappointed. I really like the idea of keeping students busy. And this is what we keep telling our teachers, that we need hands-on materials. So we need to engage those little learners in the learning process. Okay, it's true that we are going to devote lots of time in the preparation process. I'm going to prepare lots of materials, lots of activities, lots of things. But once it comes to the teaching time, you're gonna feel more, relief. You're gonna feel just, you're not gonna be facilitator. You're gonna just move around. You're just going to support those students. They will take the learning process on their own. So it's gonna be more, let us say, student-centered approach. So it's very important to keep those students busy, and it is very important to, as you have mentioned, to have a plan B, let us say, by which we are going to make use of the time using other stuff. Like, I really like the idea of the box that you have mentioned. And as you mentioned, it is very important also to plan your lessons. Just, I'd like to express my gratitude, my thankfulness for your sophisticated experience and for sharing such a lovely speech. Thanks a lot, teacher Badriya.
Thank you, teacher Amira. I like the way that you are actually praising me. Thank you so much. I'm very happy that when I hear from teachers that they are making the use of all my activities. Thank you so much, Teacher Amira. Wish you all the best.
Thank you so much again, Ms.
Also,
Badriya.
teacher Amira, actually, she mentioned something also very important here. Is giving this, yes?
Sorry to disturb. Please continue.
Giving the students the trust, giving the students to be students central learning. It's very important, and start by you teachers as a model. When you ask students, for example, for something, try to use the polite words. For example, can I have, for example, a ruler, please? In all situations, so the students now learning from you, not only in the learning or when you have this aim in your written plan. So by doing this, also you can make the use of the language. Now the students, they are learning from every single reaction that you do in the classroom. And this can help the teachers to be at the end of the year or at the end of the semester, that I accomplish some aims that I haven't written. And not only the academic aims. English language is wide, teachers. And what I noticed that some of the teachers, they don't, or I think maybe nobody actually drew their attentions that Team Together Oman is not only ask and answer questions or only speaking or only listening. I think it is a little bit wider than this. It is to go behind speaking, to get students be ready to use English in context later on. And as you see that when they reach, for example, lesson 7, and they are giving longer listening text, not only the sentences that I used at the beginning of the unit. So this is why the teacher is very important to be a model to your students in the classes. Yes, teacher Shema?
Yes, yes, dear. Excuse me, Teacher Badri. As you have mentioned, yeah, Team Together Oman are trying to build those students for future, let us say, skills. They are trying to equip those students with the necessary skills in order to face the world later on.
Yes. Future skills, yes, as you mentioned, and some of the teachers maybe they haven't come through the strategies that they need to help students to get ready for these future skills. So I think academic training is very important now to keep this point. Is very important to drill the teachers first, then they go to teach the new curriculum in the classes. Teacher Shema?
Thank you so much, Ms. Badriya, and enriching comments from Ms. Amira. Now, if I were to conclude what you have presented, what you have given to us, Ms. Badriya, is that the key to give a fruitful feedback and as well as to succeed in your classroom is planning, in one word. Am I right?
Excuse me, Teacher Shema, again?
The exit to give fruitful feedback and to succeed in your classroom management is basically planning your day, planning your lesson, and have your objectives in mind. Am I right?
Of course, yes. You are totally right, Teacher Shema. Planning your lesson, and also Teacher Shema, to add some points here, managing the classroom, and also to be a model to your students, and be also systematic in giving them the feedback. For example, not giving them feedback today and forget about it for another 2 days.
That's right. Absolutely right. Thank you so much. There is one more minute, just as a waiting time for any comment, any question. And after that, we are going to conclude this session. Thank you so much for the teachers who joined us today from different groups and from different backgrounds. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Teacher Shema. Thank you, teachers, for giving me this chance. to share my experience, to share my ideas. Thank you so much, Teacher Shema. Thank you all of you teachers. See you next time in another speech.
Thank you so
Wish you
much.
all
You
the
are the
best.
one who deserves the
Goodbye.
thanking. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, dear. It was such a great chance to get to know you, to learn from you, and I hope that the guests have learned something that's something that could be added in their classrooms, and I have no doubt in that. Thank you so much.